Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Allie. Today is a vlog. It is currently Winterween. It is January 5th through the 11th. This is hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads. Every year in the summertime she does Summerween, and so now she's doing Winterween, which is so freaking exciting. Any chance I have to celebrate or pretend like it's spooky season, I am just here for it. Winterween is a week-long readathon with book prompts, photo prompts. If you did miss it this month, stay tuned or follow Gabby on Instagram or even the This Is Summerween Instagram page to catch the Summerween this coming summer. It is a lot of fun. The prompts are always a lot of fun to build a TBR, and it being the first day, it literally slipped my mind because this past summer was my first Summerween, so this is obviously my first Winterween. I woke up today and was like, shit, it's Winterween, and I don't have a TBR, so I had to throw some stuff together, figure out my TBR, do all of those things. I have already started my first book though, so I will share that with you guys and do some other things today. So before I take you guys back to the beginning of my day, I thought I would fill you guys in now on Winterween and my TBR. So the first prompt is read a book in the dark. This can literally be any book. You don't have to have a particular book for this. It literally is just you read it in the dark. This could be an ebook on your Kindle, so you can just turn out all the lights and read. You know, it's just supposed to be like a spooky moment, like light a candle, turn out all the lights, bundle up in your blanket and read from your Kindle, or even get in bed. You can still light a candle if you want to, snuggle in, put your headphones on, and just immerse yourself into an audiobook. That is probably what I'm going to do personally, or I'm going to just read by candlelight, or have like an Edison bulb like right next to my bed, so I kind of like the hue of that in there. I still have a full Christmas tree in my room, so I could even read with that light and just have the main lights turned out. But the book that I am probably going to throw into this slot is The September House, because it's one of the books I've been reading. So I'm like, let's just throw it in here. Because I haven't made it very far. I'm literally at chapter 4. I thought I was in the middle of a chapter, but I'm like, yeah, that's so weird. I'm like, it's just something about me. I don't like stopping in the middle of a chapter. I like to finish the chapter. But yeah, I'm only at chapter 4, which is 40 pages in. So this is going to be slotted into read a book in the dark. I may end up getting the audiobook, depending on if I want to physically read in the dark or if I want the audiobook, but I might just get the audio. I am enjoying it so far, but I am probably going to give you guys synopsis and all of that whenever I get to the book to read it for this week. Read a book with a witch on the cover. I don't have this book with me right now, so I'm gonna just throw it up for you guys. Slewfoot. I've wanted to read this for so long. I've had friends read this and really enjoy it. I've just seen so many people read it since it's been out and have just really loved it. So I was like, you know what? I need a witch on the cover. Pretty sure this girl, creature, whatever, is a witch. So we'll see, but that's where I'm gonna, slot it in, and I'm pretty sure it was one of them that was recommended for a witch on the cover from Gabby, so works. The next prompt is read a book with a snowy or winter setting, and I'm terrible at finding these. Anytime a readathon is like, find a book with this setting, or in the fall, or in the summer, or whatever, I'm like, how do I do this? Because a lot of the time you don't really know until you like start the books, unless like they've been very detailed about the setting. So I did look at her recommendations as well for this, but then I also seen a book that has been high up on my TBR list for so long, is not only on Kindle Unlimited, but it's also on Kindle Unlimited through Audible, so you can read the book as an ebook and an audiobook, and that is No Exit. I've wanted to read this for so long. I believe by Taylor Adams. I believe I have another one on my TBR that I've been trying to get to. is it The Last Word? Is that what it's called? And Gabby has always just really recommended his books. So I really want to get Last Word as well, but I am going to be doing No Exit because apparently it has a snowy or winter setting. Purple on the cover is what I am currently reading, which is The Other People by CJ Tudor. So stay tuned and I will talk about this one in just a minute. But yeah, hopefully it pulls up really well for you guys, but I promise it's purple. And I also was able to snag the audiobook on my Libby app, and you can see it's purple. Read a book with W on the cover, and I really wanted to stick to thriller, mystery, or horror because it's Winterween. But you guys, it's Stephen King. I think it counts, whether it's fantasy, horror, or whatever. Like, it's Stephen King. So I'm going to continue my Dark Tower series and jump into a drawing with a W of 3. That is my 5 books, my TBR for Winterween. I'm super excited to bring you guys along with me. I'm going to take you guys back to my morning. Dropped that vlog right to Starbucks. I got myself a latte, a hot one. They have a new potato, like, chive and something else bites. I feel like they looked a lot better like in the picture, but I'm excited to try them. And start my day. It's Winterween, day 1, so I gotta figure out my TBR because I haven't even done that. I'm behind on it. It's been a busy week, to say the least, with school starting back up. So I have been home for a while. This is the first day that I've had to myself with nobody else here for over a week. So I took advantage of that and I got a lot of computer stuff done. I got a lot of planning things done where I needed to just kind of like have my caffeine and like shut my mind off, not have a bunch of noise going and just be able to like focus. So that's what I've done. I have also filmed my Ipsy. Check it out if it's already up. Unboxing try on. That's the look that I'm wearing today. And on top of that, I filmed the intro for this video. And I figured out my TBR for Winterween because I hadn't even had that figured out this morning, and today is the first day. Today is the day where I'm supposed to post my TBR. I don't know if I'm going to today or not because I don't have all the books. I think I might be able to get one of them at my library, and the other one will just have to be on my Kindle. I'm trying to figure it out. And then it sucks because day 2 is like post a picture with a witch, like the book with the witch. And I'm like, that's the book I don't have. So it just really did not work out. I did not plan ahead of time, you guys. And I really need to get my hands on Slewfoot. So it says my library has it. I may have to go pick it up tomorrow morning, but we will see. I did try to put a hold on it, so we'll see. I'm usually not on top of posting the photo prompts. I'm just terrible at it. And I was kind of bummed. I felt like for Summerween, we got some templates for our stories, and I haven't seen any Winterween templates. So I just haven't really shared that much about it or that I'm even participating. So this might be a surprise for you guys on my channel. But I wanted to talk about the first book I started because I'm starting with read a book with purple on the cover, and that is The Other People by CJ Tudor. And I love CJ Tudor. Books have just really worked for me. My first book from her, what was it? The Drift? Yeah. And then I read The Chalk Man, and I've just liked her books so much. And what I can say with getting into this one is just like, I like it already. I like the way that she writes. I just get so invested in it and I'm so intrigued. And this is a mystery, so it's like even better. But this also has elements in it that I'm gonna see are in the I'm gonna see if they're in the synopsis first before giving too much away. But elements that just are right up my alley, especially right now with like what I've kind of been into show-wise. So, yeah. Besides that, though, yeah, I just really have been enjoying CJ Tudor's work. I don't want to go too much into it because I will probably, once I finish this, do a 3 books by CJ Tudor, since this is my 3rd book, and may even fit that in my schedule today of filming the first part of that. I don't know. Anyways, I have made it about halfway today already, so I'm hoping to finish today. That would be so nice to just get 1 whole book out in my first day. Don't know if it's gonna happen, but... Why are you called the other people? Answer: we are people just like you, people to whom terrible things have happened. We found solace not in forgiveness or forgetting, but in helping each other find justice. Driving home one night, stuck behind a rusty old car, Gabe sees a little girl's face appear in the rear window. She mouths one word: Daddy. It's his 5-year-old daughter, Izzy. He never sees her again. 3 years later, Gabe spends his days and nights traveling up and down the highway searching for his daughter, refusing to give up hope, even though most people believe she's dead. When the car Gabe saw that night is found abandoned in a lake with a body inside, Gabe must confront not just the day Izzy disappeared, but painful events from his past now dredged to the surface. Question: what sort of justice? Answer: that depends on the individual, but our ethos is a punishment that fits the crime. Fran and her daughter Alice also put a lot of miles on the road, not searching, running, because Fran knows what really happened to Gabe's daughter. She knows who is responsible, and she knows what they will do if they ever catch up with her and Alice. Question: can I request to have someone killed? Answer: if your request is acceptable, and unless there are exceptional circumstances, we fulfill all requests. All right, so I am currently doing a masking situation. It's a clay mask. It's the No Beauty Glacial Bay clay mask, I think is what it's called, something like that. I really do like this clay mask. It dries rather quick, so I'm sorry if that's like really disturbing or like distracting to you guys, because it's cute. Also, don't mind noises. My boys are watching a movie like right in the other room, so it's pretty loud. Also, the dryer is going, so if there's noises, that is why. But I'm currently doing some reading sprints while I'm watching some reading sprints, participating, and Gabby has Gavin and Jesse on, so yeah, they're doing some reading sprints. We're on currently at the end of the second one. I have like a couple minutes before they are talking again, but I want to check in because I finished the other people, so I want to talk about it, and I tried to do kind of like a purple mask for the purple book. Also, I know I still have Christmas up. It is what it is right now. But I think it's just like giving like Winterween though, having still like some lights and stuff up, so I'm liking it. But I did finish The Other People by CJ Tudor. It definitely is a CJ Tudor book. You just really don't know what to expect, and that's why I love it so much. I love her writing style, and I think that's why this book gets a higher rating for me. So this one came out in 2020, and I feel like it's a little aged for me. I really was liking where it was going whenever I was checking in with you guys for the first time, being like, I like the vibes this is giving. I like that it's heading in a type of direction where it's kind of like some of the shows I'm watching recently, what I've been kind of like into, but then it just kind of turned after that and kind of teetered into like a different direction than what I was expecting. Don't get me wrong. Again, I love the writing style. I liked the pace of this. I was very invested and intrigued to see what was going to happen, but I was predicting things that did happen. And on top of that, like, I had a really hard time just really liking anybody in this book, which is kind of typical for me with CJ Tudor, but at the same time, like, usually I'm at least invested enough to, like, care, like, what happens to, like, the main characters, and there was definitely, like, you know, the kids involved or whatever, I did root for them and stuff, but it was kind of like everybody else, I was just kind of like, it is what it is kind of situation, and I don't know, I'm kind of left like, that was it, you know? I think the ride with the writing style and the pace was a lot of fun. Definitely mystery, not as much thriller. I think I was just really just questioning throughout it, like, what is going on right now? The more and more the story went, it became a little bit more predictable, like, as we went, and I kind of was even thinking to myself, like, please don't wrap up the way that I think it's going to, and then it kind of did, so I kind of feel like the ending left me a little short. So I think I'm landing at a 4. Still not bad. A 4 and for me is like still great. I don't really know if it's a book that I would be like eager in the future to like reread, but I enjoyed reading it the first time. It's just it didn't make the cut. I think really the ending and the predictable parts of the plot just didn't do it for me. So anyways, they are about to be done with the sprint, and then I'm going to jump back into the book I've been reading this week, which is The September House, and I'm gonna wash this off my face because it is almost completely dry. But yeah, first book down, and I'm already 4 chapters into The September House. I did go ahead and grab the audio because I thought once sprints are over, I might take it to bed and read in there with the tree light in there, and maybe listen to the audio for a little bit to go ahead and get my purple cover is done, and then I'll get my read a book in the dark done as well. The woman is determined to stay in her dream home even after it becomes a haunted nightmare in this compulsively readable, twisty, and layered debut novel. When Margaret and her husband, Hal, bought the large Victorian house on Hawthorne Street for sale at a surprisingly reasonable price, they couldn't believe they finally had a home of their own. Then they discovered the hauntings. Every September, the walls drip blood, the ghosts of former inhabitants appear, and all of them are terrified of something that lurks in the basement. Most people would flee. Margaret is not most people. After 4 years, Margaret has learned how to live with the house. It's her house, after all. But Hal can't take it anymore, and he leaves abruptly. Now he's not returning calls, and their daughter Catherine, who knows nothing about the hauntings, arrives, intent on looking for her missing father. To make things worse, September has just begun, and with every attempt Margaret and Catherine make to find Hal, the hauntings grow more harrowing. Because there are some secrets the house needs to keep. Upon your face, how does it feel? It feels satisfied, that was right. Swerved it away, gone without a trace. Left me in a waste, to waste away. They got saved face, sleep on bloody stains. Leave me in a waste, to waste. Getting fucking real, girl. When it all set to what's your deal, girl? Like who gon' have you now? Swept it away, gone without a trace. Left me in a waste, to waste away. They got saved face. The Drawing of Three continues the epic saga of the Dark Tower, hurling the gunslinger into the 20th century. Once again, Stephen King masterfully interweaves dark, evocative fantasy and icy realism. As his hero, Roland, the last gunslinger, pursues his quest for the Dark Tower, roaming another world that is a nightmarishly distorted mirror image of our own, he is drawn through a mysterious door that brings him into 1980s America. Here he links forces with the defiant young Eddie Dean and with beautiful, brilliant, and brave Odetta Holmes in a savage struggle against underworld evil and otherworldly enemies. with a storytelling skill that is sheer magic and with breathtaking boldness of imagination. So this morning I woke up and I was very out of it. I needed to wake up, and it's my Sunday like reset, refresh for the week. So I first thing jumped on the treadmill and got in 2 miles this morning. So I was super proud of that. But I did kind of leave you guys hanging on the September house, but I did finish it last night, reading in the dark. This book, you guys, I have to say, I'm kind of bummed I got the audiobook. I kind of wish that I would have just powered through and just read it without it. 4 chapters in and I was pretty much hooked. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You know, I'm like, it's this woman who doesn't want to leave her haunted house, but like the entities like within it, she can see, and some of them like talk to her, and one of them she has like kind of like a relationship with. Like, the lady is always like making her tea and like cleaning up stuff like around the house, like staying busy, but they talk to each other, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. There is horror elements to it. I mean, the walls are literally bleeding, but besides that, it's kind of like one of those like silly drama horrors almost, where you're just kind of having a good time, not really getting like frightened. But from there, it just really took a turn that I didn't really enjoy. I felt like it had everything that like a haunted house book like should have, but in some of those ways it was a little cliche, maybe. Like, it was like, yeah, obviously, you know, this is gonna happen. Like, this happens in every like haunted house story. I like the way she did a lot of things, but I think the biggest pitfall for me was when Catherine, the daughter, comes home because she's mad at the mom for not telling her that the dad left, and she can't get a hold of her dad, so she's now like trying to figure out where the dad is at. She is the whiniest character I think I have ever read before. And she just yells all the way through the book, and it's like yelling, cursing, and just like over the top 24/7. Like, I don't think there was one calm sentence out of this girl's mouth throughout the entire book. And then when you're listening to the audio, the narrator was great, but like, she yells like the daughter is yelling in the book, and I was just like, oh my gosh. By the time this book was done, I was like, thank God I cannot listen to the daughter anymore. I actually really enjoyed, I think the mom's name is Margaret. We were kind of like in her point of view, and I really enjoyed that character. I feel like this touches on some triggers, like domestic violence and abuse, and staying in a toxic relationship. And so it kind of pulls elements from like a haunted house story and ties in a little bit of like things that have to do with that. So there is some triggers there, but I feel like she did it in a very good way. Of pulling those two to like together for it to not just be a haunted house story, but to also have some meaning to it as well. And I can really appreciate that. And I like the backstory of like who the Vales who lived in this haunted house before, their story. It's very much like a classic haunted house horror movie you would watch. And she nailed things in so many ways. This is Clarissa Orlando, and this is actually her debut novel. And so for being a debut novel, I was very impressed with the haunted house elements. She really did amazing on it, but I think just that character really did me in. It was just a non-stop thing. And then on top of that, I feel like the book just kind of teetered at the end. It was kind of going in like different directions. Like, it's almost like one of those things where you're like, is it a haunted house book, or is like none of this real? Is it mental health? Is it, I don't know. There was so many like different things, and not to like turn you away from it if that's not your vibe. I do think it's a good book, but there is just so many elements of this that like I didn't really care for. Like, I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't feel like I ever felt like really overly shocked about anything that happened. And so I think I'm landing at a 3 with it. It's not a bad rating. It's not a bad book, but it obviously isn't like a top favorite of mine, and I just wish that some things in it were a little bit different. But I did wrap it up last night, and then today I started my continuation of the Dark Tower series. I'm doing the expanded one, which is like 28 books by Stephen King. You read I've mentioned it here before, but you read the Dark Tower series, but there's like segues. So I think after the first 2 books, there's a little bit of a segue where you're supposed to read some of his other work, because it's kind of like that multiverse or whatever of Stephen King. And then you go back to the Dark Tower series, and then there's like another detour where you read a bunch of his other work that kind of has mentions from the Dark Tower books. So yeah, I read the first one, The Gunslinger, and then I took a little bit of a break. And since then have read some of the detour books, which I wasn't supposed to do. I was supposed to start The Drawing of Three first, because it's the second book, and didn't. I went straight ahead to some of the detour books, and I still have The Stand I'm working on, which I still haven't finished, and some other detour books like that, but I've read it, and I can't think of the other ones off the top of my head, but I have read a couple of the other detour books, so it just means when I get to the detour, it'll be a little less of the list of books. I'm not just on the second book on this journey, I guess. I'm excited to jump into the next and the actual Dark Tower series, and that is The Drawing of Three. I made a little bit of progress on it, not very much. I was able to borrow it from the Libby app, so that was nice. So I could listen to it while I was on the treadmill this morning. But you guys, this is what it is today. So I thought I would just do a quick check-in, leave you guys here, and see you guys tomorrow and the next few days until this readathon is over. During the week, I'll be a little bit more put together, but it's Sunday. It's like my reset day. I'm doing chores around the house, getting things done. I might take a nap. I've been up since really early. I got my miles in, and since then, I've kind of just been chilling out. I thought about filming, but I was like, I have so much to do, and I need to be preparing and planning for this week for filming, so I was like, no. One thing I do need to do is clean brushes. I have this whole container. It's just literally filled with brushes. And then I have this box, which is also just filled with brushes. So I'm sitting here cleaning my brushes, and then I'm gonna jump back into the audiobook. I have my headphones right here, so I'm going to jump back into The Drawing of Three. I'm making progress though so far, and I'm really enjoying it. This readathon is really helping me like steer back into like my reading plans and my reading goals and stuff, because I wasn't really in a slump, but my brain was just like all over the place. I couldn't calm down for like 2 seconds to be able to make my mind up on a book to read this like month, or new year in general. I was like, all right, I set a goal on my Goodreads to read 150 books this year, and I haven't even started one. And I'm hoping to still make a pretty good dent in this book today, and then maybe even finish it tomorrow. For a little while. It's now the 9th, so my Monday was just blah. I didn't film any of it. And I'm doing okay today. Made progress, but yeah, I'm kind of like in a little bit of a slump. I did finish The Drawing of Three. The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King, and I did enjoy it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I did The Gunslinger, which I think is an unpopular opinion, because I hear a lot of people love The Drawing of the Three and say that The Gunslinger is kind of slow, so I'm kind of having a little bit of the opposite effect. Nonetheless, I really did enjoy it. I have it right here with me, but I did finish it. And today I've started No Exit, so we'll talk about that one in a minute. So I'm still making a little bit of progress. I'm still like ahead on my goals as far as what I'm reading for Winterween, so that's nice. So this is the continuation of Roland on his journey to the tower, and he is kind of having to do these almost like a quest, and he has to draw 3 pretty much. And he is he awakens on like this beach and he's injured. So the first thing he finds is a door, and it's like just like a door that leads to nowhere, it looks like, but when you open it, it's like you're the eyes in somebody else's life, and that is the first one he draws. He can control them and kind of like jump into their life. He can bring them back through the door with him. It's definitely fantasy, but it still kind of has this like, it's almost like it's still wanting this like Western feel to it, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I like reading Westerns, is what I'm figuring out so far with my Dark Tower series read. And I can't really figure out Roland either. I'm somebody who's prone to not like any of Stephen King characters, so this one's kind of been an odd journey for me so far. I'm excited to see where it goes, and especially like once we are actually getting to like the tower and stuff too, and how everything's gonna kind of like play out. And I like that it is definitely like a fantasy where you have multiple books that are just going to be the continuous journey, but also like bringing in the characters for the journey as well. And this one was definitely bringing in the characters. So we are introduced to Eddie. We're introduced to Odetta, I believe is what it is. I just did one eyebrow. Like, I'm just going to wear one eyebrow today. And yeah, I don't really want to give too much away, but I enjoyed it. I liked the concept of the journey on the beach and finding the doors, the 3 doors he has to find. The journey or stories in the door were a little mid for me, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really enjoy them as much as I would have liked to. I just kind of felt like the first one is, you know, Eddie, so it's kind of like tackling mafia drug type of ordeal, and I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I would have liked. And then from there, I just kind of felt like the stories just kind of, they could have, like the rest of them could have just been a little bit more exciting, I guess. I'm still enjoying the concept of the book in itself. I think it's not going to be one of my favorites from the Dark Tower series as a whole, but yeah, I'm excited to make some progress. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have to make a detour now on my Dark Tower expanded series, and I think I have to go back to the stand. So, wish me luck on that. I think I'm landing on a 4. That's a good score for it, and I think that docking a point is just necessary for me with how I feel with how the story is going, I guess. Am reading currently, I started No Exit by Taylor Adams. It's my first Taylor Adams. I know that he is a thriller writer, and I've heard very mixed things. Some people say he is a little controversial. Some people absolutely love his writing because as they claim to be some of the best thrillers ever. So I'm excited to see my hot take on it and see what I think of his, because I do actually own one of his. I'm reading No Exit because it was recommended as one with like the wintry, snowy scene, which it definitely is. And I have The Last Word by him as well. I got it through Book of the Month one month, and it was for a book club, so I picked it for the book club pick, and I still haven't got to that one yet. So I'm really hoping I enjoy this one so that I am more encouraged to pick up that one and read it. But yeah, I will let you guys know. I'm going to check back in later after I get done filming and stuff. I'm going to listen to the audiobook for a little bit because I have it through Kindle. Unlimited, and also like the Kindle Unlimited, like what is it called, like the Audible. Sometimes it works with Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, there's the cover of No Exit, and then there's also like this little snowy wintry moment. I'm already quite a ways through. I have a lot of filming and stuff to do, so I just think like in between filming I'm just going to like hit play and listen and stuff, and hopefully by the time I'm wrapping or later this afternoon, I'll complete it because I think it's gonna be a fast-paced one. That's how I'm feeling so far. I was listening to it and then I looked down, I was like, oh my gosh, I've made a lot of progress already. And I had just done my hair, like gotten my coffee this morning, or my latte a while ago, done my hair and did like a couple other things. And I had made so much progress already, so I'm flying through it. No Exit is a thriller about 4 strangers, a blizzard, a kidnapped child, and a determined young woman desperate to unmask and outwit a vicious psychopath. A kidnapped little girl locked in a stranger's van, no help for miles. What would you do? On her way to Utah to see her dying mother, college student Darby Thorne gets caught in a fierce blizzard in the mountains of Colorado. With the roads impassable, she's forced to wait out the storm at a remote highway rest stop. Inside are some vending machines, a coffee maker, and 4 complete strangers. Desperate to find a signal to call home, Darby goes back out into the storm and makes a horrifying discovery. In the back of a van parked next to her car, a little girl is locked in an animal crate. Who is the child? Why has she been taken? And how can Darby save her? There is no cell phone reception, no telephone, and no way out. One of her fellow travelers is a kidnapper, but which one? Trapped in an increasingly dangerous situation with a child's life and her own on the line, Darby must find a way to break the girl out of the van and escape. But who can she trust? All right, you guys, a little check-in. I made a lot of progress on the book. I'm really liking it. Like I mentioned earlier, it's been very fast-paced. The thriller vibes are there. It's just bam, bam, bam on stuff. I can't say it's been a little predictable, more predictable than what I would have liked, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, there's no way that's gonna happen, and then it happens. But I'm still liking it. I like the writing style. I like the thriller and fast-paced vibe as well. It's a really easy read because I feel like you can just get through it so fast, and I'm here for the ride. It's been a very long afternoon. I feel like I've been filming and talking forever. So I'm going to call a night and relax for a little bit and read some more. But I thought I'd at least check in, let you guys know how it was going. I did finish my look, although I feel like it's like wearing off now. And I just filmed my book recap for 2023 and it was a lot. So if you see this, I would greatly appreciate if you watch that video because I put so much work into it. And now I have so much video to edit. It's not even funny. I've literally been filming for hours at this point. But yeah, I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow and let you guys know what I think because I'm sure I'll finish this book tonight. And I also have to make a library run because my last book, it came through. It is ready for pickup at my library, but I have not had the chance to go and pick it up today. So I'm going to try to swing by and get it this afternoon before they close. And then that way I can have it tomorrow to finish this readathon. All right, you guys. So I am wrapping up this readathon by reading Slewfoot, so stay tuned. But I did finish No Exit by Taylor Adams, and my Kindle is low battery, of course. I don't know where I'm landing though. I literally just wrapped it this morning. I was so tired last night and I ended up going to bed before finishing it. And so where do I stand on it? I liked the pace of it. I liked the writing style. Like I said, it was pretty predictable at times, so I feel like I dock a little bit from that because I still like to be shocked. But I did like that this is really a thriller. Like, it is a thriller. It is so, like, engaging and, like, you really invest yourself into it even with the predictableness of it. So I did like those aspects. Character-wise, I didn't mind because in a fast-paced thriller like this, I don't really get too involved or connected with them. I felt like he was very cutthroat. It was a lot more like intense and even gory at times than what I was expecting, so that was a bonus. I would say overall, it was a pretty good thriller read. And you guys will probably know before I do, video-wise, what I'm rating it. It's a 3 or a 4. I'm trying to be a little bit more cutthroat this year because after doing my wrap up, I realized how many 4s I gave out, and I'm like, there's some good books out there, but I don't know. I kind of want to be a little bit more precise with them so that I know my top favorites a little bit better. But I don't know. This might be a 4 thriller. Anyways, I'm going to be jumping into Slewfoot today, and I'm super excited about it because this has been on my TBR for so long, and it's not too long, so I think I will be able to finish it rather quick. Ooh, I didn't even know it had illustrations in it too, which is really cool. Library came through once again. So I will keep you guys updated on what I think of this. Connecticut, 1666. An ancient spirit awakens in a dark wood. The wild folk call him father, slayer, protector. The colonists call him Slewfoot, demon, devil. To Abatha, a recently widowed outcast alone and vulnerable in her pious village, he is the only one she can turn to for help. Together they ignite a battle between pagan and Puritan, one that threatens to destroy the entire village, leaving nothing but ashes and bloodshed in its wake. It's a terrifying tale of bewitchery that features more than 24 of Brom's haunting paintings, fully immersing readers in this wild and unforgiving world. Hey guys, I'm back to wrap up this video. I'm sick. So my Winterween plummeted. It kind of went downhill, and now I'm doing like a little TLC. Like, I did my hair for the first time today, even though I ended up not even filming because I'm still feeling blah. And I don't know, there's something about getting sick in January whenever I'm trying to like reset the vibe and like reset my moods. I'm not really doing a full New Year transformation, but I am trying to at least kind of reset my intentions and plan accordingly for my year. And with that being said, yeah, there's something about getting sick and then just feeling so defeated and just your mental health just plummets, and that is where I'm at. So mental health is not doing great. Actual health, not doing so great, although I do think I am now like on the tail end of this sickness, whatever we have. You guys probably can't even tell because it's starting to like melt, but it is snowy. We got snow, so we've been snowed in, and yeah. So now I'm on my like uphill battle of getting my mental health back in check and my physical health, all of that back into check. So I'm not sick. Sorry, the neighbor dog is barking, so if you guys do hear that, I apologize. But I wanted to finish out this vlog because I didn't get to at the very end of Winterween, and my Winterween had to be extended a little bit because I had a hard time focusing on anything. The fatigue was real, so it took me more days than I hoped, but thankfully I only had my 1 book left, so I went from having like I think a day or 2 left of Winterween to using the rest of the week to read Slewfoot because I was just out of it mentally, physically, all the above. Anyways, I freaking love this book, and I'm already saying this now because I'm pretty sure I could have read my favorite book of the year in January. I loved this so much. It was so good, and I'm gonna have to pick up more from Brom. I'm giving it 5 stars. I cannot wait to read more and see how his other ones are. I know he has like a Krampus one. The storytelling, the writing style, everything was everything that I wanted for this. And it's so hard to give you guys any other information about this beside the synopsis because it's so much better to go into it more blindly and just lose yourself and get lost in the story. That is my favorite types of stories, and this is going to be right up there with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue because of the writing style and just the way that I just got lost in this story. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I had the absolute best time at the beginning of this, jumping into a new year of readathons, and I already have another one. I've seen a couple people preparing for Edgar Allan Poe readathon. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's for his birthday, so I did pick up a couple from my library. I think this has like all of his work in it, so I'm super excited for that. I may end up vlogging it. I'm not sure just yet with how I am feeling, but if not, we'll still have other videos coming from me because I have been still trying to film other book things and my book clubs that I'm going to follow this year, and 24 and 24. And if you guys haven't seen my book wrap up that I think I mentioned earlier in this video, you guys can check it out too. But thank you guys so much for watching this. If you participated in Winterween, please let me know so I can go watch your vlog as well. And thank you guys so much. I'll see you in my next video.